Third eye roll. I'm Dr. Justine Lemos. I'm here with Emily McConnell. We just got back from India, and today we are riding a big old wave. We've got a Dhanishta new moon, an eclipse portal, Mahashivaratri all stacked on top of each other. It's like a triple espresso. Karmic resets, timeline shifts, old rhythms dying so that new ones can be born. If your nervous system feels like it just got plugged into a lightning bolt, you are right on schedule. Did you hear that thunder and lightning last night?
I was just going to say that.
Holy moly.
Holy moly, I woke up,
Mm-hmm.
I heard something, of course. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, what is that? At 4 in the
Mm-hmm.
morning or whatever it was. And then I
Mm-hmm.
started seeing the flashes. So as soon as you said that, I was like,
It's
oh yeah,
so loud. It
yeah,
was so
yeah.
loud. And what's amazing is last night was this new moon in Dhanishta Nakshatra, which is the drum beat, right? It's Shiva's two-headed Dhamaru drum. But this nakshatra is also ruled by the Vasus, the elemental gods of light and movement and wealth and cosmic circulation. So it's all about rhythm and timing and pulse and the elements. So last night's wild thunderstorm and the huge storm that's hitting the Sierras, we're in California, is
Mhm.
right on schedule.
It's right on schedule. And something else that came through, we always talk about how our like social media stuff is like,
Hmm.
it'll start to show you symbols, if you
Mhm,
pay attention.
mhm,
Life will show you symbols, regular life, but also the social media kind of like meta micro uh, magnifying glass.
mhm.
One of those things came through to me that it was a video of a pulsar
Mm,
the symbol looked almost like an infinity symbol, right?
mm,
The way
mhm.
it was moving, and it made this sound, but it
The
has
Damaru.
yes, the same image as the Damaru, and I was just like, wow, universe heartbeat or Shiva's drum.
Yeah, it's also, the dance of creation and
Yes,
destruction. It's also nirvana and samsara being two
yes.
sides of the drum. So, relative reality and ultimate reality, suffering and relief from suffering. Um, and this is the major symbol of this new moon and this eclipse. It's a solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse, that's then going to be followed. This is eclipse season, it happens every year. And this will be followed by a full lunar eclipse in 2 weeks. I believe it's going to be in Purva Falguni Nakshatra, which is the star sign of leisure and pleasure. Um, and so we're going to see some interesting reveals in the next 2 weeks. And after the next 2 weeks, right in this, I feel like it's like a trough between the eclipse that everything
Mm-hmm.
is a little bit confusing. We can't see what is real, what is unreal. And then at the end of the eclipse cycle, we we um we get a whole identity upgrade, right?
Yes.
And we're starting to already see this. I mean, Rahu is there in Aquarius. This eclipse happens and new moon happens in Aquarius. Dhanishta spans from Capricorn to Aquarius. It happens on the Aquarius side, and it's happening with Rahu, north node of the moon, in there, which causes the eclipse. And so this is really fast energy of fast dissolving quickly.
Right.
Wicked Witch of the West getting the water on her and dissolving, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think can also relate to that feeling of that Wicked Witch when she's saying, "I'm melting." I
Yeah.
mean, there's just so much energy pulsing through right now, and
Yeah.
it's intense. So I think that folks that are listening, if you are feeling a lot or feeling a little bit overwhelmed, that is right
Mhm.
on schedule as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
this is like, old versions of yourself are really dissolving very quickly. You're outgrowing jobs, you're outgrowing relationships, you're outgrowing identities. Mercury is also mixed into Aquarius. Everybody's having a big house party in Aquarius.
Right. And this
So
has happened for the past 3 months. We've been having first the Sagittarius, then Capricorn. I mean,
mhm.
really, I think it even goes all the way back to Libra. Haven't we been
These
having this
stellium,
stellium,
these clusters of
these
planets.
buildups? Yeah.
Yeah, all like clearing, like coming through and experiencing these particular um energies,
Mm,
right? And so this is the Aquarius stellium.
hmm
And so this is like exposing the matrix.
Yeah.
And once you see it, you can't unsee it, right?
Yes.
And this is what we're getting with the really extreme, like Epstein files.
Yes.
What we're finally seeing some of it, right? And we're going to see a lot more, I would imagine, in the
Yes.
next few weeks. And then after the full eclipse in Purva Falguni, and Purva Falguni is all about lust and love and pleasure. Like
Right.
we're going to see a really massive
We're going to see some
unfolding.
some revealing stuff that we may or may not want to see, but that is the energy of the time. I mean, because Aquarius has this humanitarian undercurrent to it, we have to see this in order to then move to the next
Mhm,
cycle.
mhm,
We have to do it. Our
mhm.
soul's incarnated for a reason, for better or for
Right?
worse.
And Rahu and this new moon also gets mixed up with Venus, relationships and
Mm,
value and money and pleasure.
yes.
We could have relationship awakenings. We can be
Mm,
craving freedom and authenticity and deeper kinds of soul connections. And suddenly you see
mm,
what you couldn't see before. And
right.
so suddenly people are going to be ending things. They're going to be
Mm,
telling the truth. They're going to be changing directions. They're going to be refusing to settle, right? And this is
right.
like a massive recalibration to a kind of new frequency.
Right.
Aquarius is about new systems, right? New
Oh yeah.
systems. And there is this opportunity. I mean, Aquarius is also really, really revolutionary. Like, this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, right? And I do think, like, we saw, the Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime performance was very much a harbinger of all of these planets in Aquarius, all
Yeah.
white and like spiritual cultural symbolism, right?
hmm hmm
And um like mental clarity and focused energy, and the many,
Collectivism.
right, collectivism, which we're going to see even more as we go into Pisces,
Right.
where we like have collective dreaming really about like the
Right.
most mhm,
I wanted to say how we were talking about how eclipses are usually these revealing times,
mhm,
and how that trough in between can be this like hard to find clarity moment, especially
mm,
in that moment in between the two eclipses. So we're having this solar eclipse first, right? That is the moon
yep,
eclipsing the sun, lunar
yep,
energy eclipsing solar energy. That is
mhm,
very indicative of like matriarchy versus patriarchy, right?
yeah,
Through the
totally.
middle, we have this murky time of like, what is happening? Then we go to lunar eclipse where the opposite happens, right? Earth gets in the
Mhm,
way of
mhm.
the shadow of the earth gets in the way of the moon, and we see the entire cycle of the moon in one 4-hour period. Very, very powerful for this, like, I don't know, I'm getting this mothering energy, but also um the influence of right now Saturn with Neptune in
Mm,
Pisces. How
mm,
are we even supposed to have clarity there? Neptune is that like hidden,
mhm,
murky, the most
mhm,
oceanic of all of the
mhm.
planetary energies in Pisces, the boundaryless zone of our psyche, endings, all of this karma coming up.
Transcendence, just like
Yes,
beyond the
moksha.
beyond, right?
Yes.
Just like
Yeah.
meditation or medication, or,
Oof.
but just like the deep, deep dream state,
Yes, yes, yes.
deep Maya. Yeah.
Deep
The Bardo.
Maya.
The Bardo, right? And so
Yes.
all of our friends are making their way, all of our planetary friends are
Mm.
making their way into Pisces, right? That's what's going to happen next. They're all just clustered together having a party while Mars, let's remember right now, is exalted in Capricorn.
Exalted, but also combust because it's so close to the sun.
It has
Or
been
gonna be,
combust as
right?
it is combust right now,
Ugh.
Feb 17th. It's combust, right? So this is an angry general.
It's an angry general with like heartburn and like
And
major
so much
joint
power.
inflammation, like
Rheumatoid arthritis, gout,
yes.
Crohn's disease. Yeah, he's
Poor guy.
pissed.
Ugh.
And yet he has the so much power
Yes.
being exalted.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's scary.
I know. Well, and we're seeing
Don't love that.
Doesn't Mars you will do you have your chart up? Maybe we
I
can
do. I have a chart open.
talk about when Mars shifts, but it feels kind of unsafe
Yes.
before the next eclipse happens. Like next week sometime, it feels like there's a building of energy that's involving Mars, and that we're going to see some
Mars is going to move out of its exact place of exaltation. Mars is in Dhanishta, by the way, just over in the Capricorn side. It's going to move into Aquarius with everybody else next week.
That's what I'm
Venus,
talking about.
Rahu, Sun, Mars.
That's what I'm talking about, is the war drum. That's what it reminded me of, is Mars moving into Dhanishta with the drum and the rhythm and the power to kind of push things in a way that might be Marsian. We'll just say that. I don't like to do predictions because I don't think I have them as much information or as much like experience doing that. But when I'm feeling something, maybe it's because I'm running Mars Dasha, is because I feel that. But that is something.
There is definitely danger and instability, you know, and it feels, especially like the escalation of things in Iran. And just there's a lot going on to make us give pause. And this is all Mars having so much power, having the capacity to be very disciplined, and yet also being combusted by the sun, so inflamed. And then it's also really interesting, you know, Jesse Jackson died last night.
Who did?
Moon, Jesse Jackson.
Oh
yeah, new moon, Dhanishta, eclipse, portal, Mahashivaratri, civil rights, you know, activist of great fame and repute.
Wow, I didn't know that. Oh,
yeah.
Rest in peace, rest in power, sir.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah. But it's very much, it's a good job.
Yes.
Beautiful, auspicious timing, right?
Beautiful departure, sir.
Beautiful departure, sir. And we, you know, all of the civil rights activists who worked with nonviolence are great yogis.
Absolutely. And I was going to say, with all this Marsian energy that is coming up, right? How it moves into Dhanishta next with that drum, a really good way to channel that energy is to practice yoga, asana practice. Move that energy a bit with your own self so it doesn't become stuck inside your body. Yeah.
So also right now we have Mahashivaratri, the great appearance night of the god Shiva. Shiva doesn't have a birth or death. He just appears because he is eternal, and therefore he can't be born and he can't die and he has no parents. He just is, right? So he has this appearance. And we just had Mahashivaratri mixed in with this eclipse portal, right?
It was like the real entryway, I think, into this eclipse and slash Lunar New Year. It's, you know, Mahashivaratri is the 7th night, right, of Magha with that crescent moon, which is a symbol of Shiva.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, we didn't see it here in Northern California because it was raining and storming, which is also very right on
Rudra,
point.
the very
Yeah,
fierce
Rudra.
form of Shiva, is,
Yeah,
the god of storms. So we
yeah.
had a good Shivaratra here.
We had a
Ratri.
beautiful Shivaratri. It was, I
Um,
had a fire going all day and was
mhm,
just, yeah, I had a couple different
love it.
mantra practices. It
Love
was
it.
lovely.
Love it.
Trying to
Yeah.
prepare myself for this eclipse portal. Eclipses happen, eclipse seasons happen twice a year,
Mhm.
every year. And this year just is a little bit earlier uh, than I've
It
seen
it
for the
is
past several years.
it is a bit early.
Yeah.
So the myth I thought I'd share
Ooh, yay.
has to do, and it is a myth that we got to hear in India as we were going from. Uh, we spent a lot of time with Shiva in Shiva temples,
We
in a
did.
variety of forms. Yeah, at both Jyotirlinga, 12. We didn't go to all of them, but the 12 most important of Shiva temples in India. We got to go to 2 of them. How lucky are we?
So
And then
lucky.
also the Yogini temple that we went to, had originally had Bhairava form of Shiva in the very center of it. So anyhow, and then there was a Shiva shrine outside. And then
Yes.
Varanasi is just the place of Shiva
It's
itself.
his
So
city. Oh yeah.
it's his city. So we were deep in Shiva land, and so this myth is also appropriate because of the energy of the eclipse. When there was the churning of the buttermilk ocean, and we have given this myth a few times throughout this podcast, but the devas decided that they wanted to extract the nectar of immortality, the Amrit, from the churning of the buttermilk ocean, which of course is ourselves, because once upon a time, long, long ago, and far, far away, and simultaneously right here and right now, inside of each of us. So they got a huge snake, a Vasuki, and they wrapped it around Mount Meru, which is our spine. And the snake represents really our practice of yoga, asana, kriya, yama, niyama. And they decided to churn, pulling back and forth the snake like a large mortar and pestle, grinding with the asuras, the demons, and the devas, each pulling one side. And they started to churn this buttermilk ocean, and stuff started to pop out of the buttermilk ocean, some quite lovely and some not as lovely. A wish fulfilling cow. I really want one of those popped out of the ocean. A
I
wish
want
giving
one.
tree, right? So we just like get a wish giving cow.
Please.
Please. Dhanvantari, the first physician of Ayurveda, popped out. Lakshmi, goddess of wealth and beauty, popped out. Her elder sister in some teachings, Lakshmi or Jesta, pops out. And then at some point, before the nectar of immortality, the Amrit, pops out. And why this myth is especially important is a pathway of this myth that I'm not going to tell right now goes into the explanation of why we have eclipses and of the creation of the lunar and of the creation of the lunar nodes, the north and south nodes of the moon, Rahu Ketu. But before the pot of Amrita, the nectar, popped out of the ocean, out came this huge fountain of poison. And this huge fountain of poison, it's like you're, like mining down for gold, and suddenly you hit like oil or something really toxic. Begins fountains out of this churning and threatens to kill the entire world. And so everybody is like, oh no, what do we do? And they pray to the god Shiva, because Shiva is the great yogi. He has the ability to transform poison into nectar. And so he swallows the poison, and he holds it in his throat, this hala hala, in this poison in his throat. And through his great discipline and practice of yoga, of union, he transforms this poison, but he holds it at the throat, at Vishuddhi chakra, which is the seat of purity. And he doesn't let it drip down and affect the lungs and the hearts and the inner organs. He holds it here, and because of the intensity of this poison and holding it, containing it in his throat becomes blue. And he's known as Nilakanta, the blue-throated god. But this poison is, even though he transforms it, holding it at his throat is incredibly heating. It creates all of this heat inside of his throat that it sears him, and it's very painful. And so what happens is his devoted Vahana, his vehicle, Nandi, the bull, comes and blows cool air at Shiva's throat to cool it down. And so you can see at every Shiva temple, Nandi faces Shiva and is blowing cool air at his throat to cool him down, right? And so part of this myth is really about like cool, steady patience in the midst of transformation. But I also think it has another aspect to it, which is that the practice of transformation happens in relationship. Right? Shiva can't do it, even though he's this god of yoga. He can't do it on his own. He has to have the support and the devotion of Nandi to cool things down and to cool things off.
The devotion in relationship. It's so beautiful.
Right? And so this is this reminder about stillness and about I think that this eclipse is not asking us to do more. It's asking us to listen and to tune in, because the messages of this eclipse arrive through rhythm, the nishta, and through presence and through stillness.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how do we perceive the rhythms, right? We have to listen deeply within our own selves.
That's right.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Mahadev.
Full power.
Full power, full action.
Bye, friends.
We love you.